Hello, Adora. You're in.
Hello! We're here. We made it. It
We
looks,
definitely made it. Yes, I'm. There's that. That's like a snowbank behind me. Like it's pretty big. But yeah,
I was
safe,
just gonna
gorgeous day.
say it looks snowy.
It's very snowy. It looks like I'm buried in snow, uh, but I'm not actually buried in snow. But I was. I think actually the snowbanks on the side of my house are probably about 12, 13 feet tall. So
Wow,
yeah,
that's
so
amazing.
when I have to shovel, it's a bit of a toss, I'll have to say.
It's a
But
great workout.
it's a great workout. It is my workout, I swear. I'm like, oh man, I didn't make it to the gym this week, which is actually my garage. And I was like, I'll go shovel some snow. So
Awesome.
great to see everybody popping in. I haven't even teased out exactly what we're going to be talking about, but I might, now that you're here, let's let it roll because we are going to talk about, we talked a little bit about it last week about love languages, and
Yes.
certainly we'll be deep diving in that during the retreats. But right here, we're going to give you a little bit of teaser because there are, if anybody's read the book by Gary Chapman, five, was it love language? But there are five of them. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to bring up two of them. And
Great.
Adora's going to talk about three of hers. And, these two are probably my favorite. I'll share that as well. But as always, we want this experience to be about you, of
Mhm.
course. So if you have any questions, anybody watching out there, have any questions, certainly in this particular topic, please leave them in the comments. We are happy and more than delighted to share those, any possible answers or guidance we can give you, certainly in this arena. So I would
Yes.
like, do you want me to just jump in? If you're ready, unless you got what you want to add something.
Dive in there, my friend.
I am going
Let's
to
do
dive
it.
into
Let's swim.
our love language because, and I don't know, put a heart or a yes if you guys know what your love language is or even what they are. Because a lot of times I know people are like, oh, I know what they are. I know what I've heard about them. But my question to you is now, are you applying them? And most importantly, do you know what they are for you first and
Mhm.
foremost? Do you know what they are? Because I'll even back that up one more step in, do you even know? Still trying to find it. And so this is for you who may be single or you may be in a relationship. This is applicable to both. So just keep an open mind on, okay, great, I'm still trying to find it. And you are not alone. Who said that? I still see your comment there. If you're still trying to find it or still trying to deepen it, my first question is to you, do you even know what you're looking for? Because a
Yes.
lot of times we're looking for love and I'm trying to find it or I'm trying to go deeper. I'm like, okay, well, what does love mean to you? Uh, well, I don't know. I haven't really thought that out completely. So I would encourage you before you go, uh, find out what is love mean to you, because you can't find something that you're not even, if I send you to the grocery store and you're not exactly sure what you're looking for or what I'm looking for, it's impossible to actually give it.
Mm.
So yeah, sense of humor is always going to take you a long way, as well as honesty. So I would encourage you to go asking yourself, and if you're here with us, write down or think about or reflect on, what does love mean to me? So I know what I'm looking for. So you're not out there just chasing it, right?
Yeah, it's so important because love is not only the strongest force in the universe, but it is one of the strongest forces in our lives that can move mountains, that will instill a drive within us that transcends space and time, but also that is sometimes the most confusing and painful of concepts and energies and experiences. And that's why I think it's so important to get in there and discover your love language, because until we can understand our own drives and expectations of love, how can we articulate that to another, whether or not we're in relationship? So this is important whether or not you are in relationship with your beloved or you're still calling in that one special person, to dive deep, right, into that soul journey, into that heart journey together. So wherever you stand, discovering your own love language is going to empower greater harmony and love in all of your relationships.
Yes, very, very well said. And you'll save yourself some heartache,
Mm.
right? If you start to define what your love language is, and that love language is really, once you understand what love is to you, okay, how can I express that? And I want to ask yourself, you'd be like, well, I don't even know what it is yet. And the first step to ask yourself is, okay, well, what makes me feel loved? What is that? And really get specific about what that is. There's tons of things that make us feel adored,
Mhm.
valued, validated, appreciated. But like Adora was saying, like this is really embodies something way deeper. What makes you feel? And think about that for yourself and the person that you know in your life. Okay, so what am I grateful for in the if you're talking about a specific person, A, if you haven't found them, or the person that you're with, what am I really what am I grateful for them? This is just the starting point to start to go, oh, wow, I love that they, and I'll share two of these right now, right? That they have acts of service. They perform beautiful acts of service.
Mm.
Okay, now you've tipped off one of the love languages that might be a way in which you start to feel, because this is your journey. This is right now, we're going to focus on, there's a couple elements at play here because we also want to understand someone else's love language, but we can't find it again if we're not sure what we want. So
Mm.
ask yourself that very question, right? Is it acts of service? And another one for me is quality time.
Mm.
Those two right there. And then when I'll be clear also when you go, okay, well, what does quality time mean to you? Because you may go, well, I just need to be close and I want to snuggle. And some people go, no, I just need to be sharing a meaningful experience. And that for me is one of the, like, if I'm having a meaningful experience in the quality of energy, are we present, not just
Mm.
time? I think we talked a little bit about that last week, right? And make that distinction for yourself, so you can articulate that when you're trying to build a stronger connection with somebody. So you go, no, I don't want your time. I'm not asking just for time. But when I go, I'm home, I'm here, I'm in the house. What are we doing? So you go, no, I want your energy, your focused presence. And that
Mm.
for me is one of the things. I'll let you lay out a few. We can kind of bounce it back and forth, but really,
I love
really
it.
love it. Quality time outdoors, cooking. See, these are very specific. That's exactly it, Yolanda. So you can articulate that to somebody and you're
Yeah.
clear. I love that. It's the quality time and the energy. So if we're outdoors, are we on our phone? Are we constantly taking pictures? Or are
Mhm.
we engaged together? That's where we're sharing of this loving energy. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just thinking how powerful presence
Hmm.
is. And when we can show up with presence within our own being, right? Presencing our breath, presencing our emotions, like what is happening in the moment. It allows us to be able to be present with another individual. We can't be present with anyone else until we're present with ourselves first. And that means harnessing the monkey mind,
Yeah.
right? Deepening the breath, perhaps even a reflection of gratitude for the moment, right? To really expand and elevate our energy consciousness, our vibrational point, magnetic point with the universe. And this is really where the love languages come in, because oftentimes when we're in relationship, we want to demonstrate our own love language for our partner, but they may not have that same language. Just as you and I are conversing here, Shawn, and we're speaking in language, well, the language of our emotions, the language of love is very different for each person. So when we cultivate an expectation from our own perspective, we can't really see outside of that. And then we're kind of mismatching, right, often with our partner. So knowing for yourself as you start to kind of ponder, like, what are my love languages? Thinking back to how you grew up, how love was demonstrated in your environment often imprints ways that you understand love as an adult, and how you can maybe sit down and jot down a few notes in your journal so you can get super clear on your primary love language. You know, we're always going to have different aspects of how they show up, right? Some of us, like you said, you are really big into quality time. And that's important. That's a really big one for me. For some people, a lot of my clients come and say, well, words of affirmation are really important to me. I need to hear, I love you. I need to hear it over and over again. I need to hear how nice I look before I go out to the office, or maybe when we're going out to dinner. Yeah. Right? And whereas for our partners, they might not make that connection. They might be doing many, many acts of service, opening the doors, right? Taking out the trash, or doing things above and beyond as an act of service of love. But if there's a mismatch in that, then we kind of go, gosh, like, why, what is wrong with this? Like, I'm not feeling the love. And then we start to say, well, why do so many relationships end in divorce? Or why do I get in relationship again and again and again, and it ends after a couple of years? Because I feel like I'm not seen, I'm not heard, I'm not understood for who I am, right? And we all crave that. We all want to feel that. So first, we get clear with ourselves. If words of affirmation are one for you, then know that, then claim that as a way that you feel honored in your life. Ask for it. If physical touch is important, right? This is more than just sexually. This is physical touch in holding hands, in caressing, in just like I'm going to touch your back because I'm walking past you and we're in the same room, and I want you to know how important you are to me, right? So physical touch is a profound love language for so many people. Yeah. And yet, if we don't understand that about ourselves or our partner, then we're always going to feel like we're not seen, we're not heard, we're not felt, right? Especially in that tactile perspective, right? A light bulb moment. I mean, this is so profound. It's simple, but it's not always easy. But it becomes more easy when we can be honest and authentic with ourselves first.
Yes, that is so true. I love that. And I'll say this, you know, when you love yourself the way you want to be loved, you are teaching people how to love you.
Yes.
Think about that again. I mean, really play that back in your head. When you love yourself the way you want to be loved, you are teaching people how to love you.
So profound.
Yeah, and just think, so even if we're not, to your point, if we're not clear on that, and we get these cues from our parents or our caregivers who kind of didn't really show affection in a way that we might have been turned off by it or something, it's like, wow, I don't feel loved that way, right? You get to now rewire that for yourself.
Yes.
And understanding that. So now, because if you're living in that same pattern, oh, well, that's how my parents loved each other. I mean, I won't share the whole story here. And my parents adored each other, right? But there were certain things that I picked up from them that weren't helpful to me, that I communicate more, right? So I think once you're able to articulate that for yourself and realize that, wow, no wonder I'm not finding the love I want. I'm actually asking for the wrong thing in the wrong way.
In the wrong way.
Call it right or wrong, but call it a way that doesn't resonate for you, if that makes more sense.
I think that's brilliant. So, you know, one of the most powerful things that we can do is reflect back on our life and our relationships, because that is where we can discover gold, right? That's where we can excavate those patterns that we've carried through relationship after relationship after relationship and say, okay, So I've got a wonderful teaching from the past, and I have all the power that is needed in this present moment to create change, to become that change that I want to see, not only within myself, but in all of my relationships.
Yeah.
When we reflect on those 5 love languages, and I highly recommend going and, you can get the Kindle or the Audible on Gary Chapman's book. It is brilliant, and it's really stemmed so many additional workbooks and ways that you can dive deep into your own journey of self-understanding. But the 5th one there is receiving gifts. How many of us like to receive gifts, right?
Right.
No,
Yeah.
it's a beautiful thing, right? We're trained from a super young age to desire gifts. Now, those gifts don't always have to be semi-precious jewels, right? The emerald rings, and I do love emeralds, or fancy jewelry or real estate or expensive items, because some of the most profound gifts are free. And coming back to the idea of presence, gifting something with our presence offers a tremendous depth that stays with us, right? That becomes anchored into the fiber of who we are. So that gift, if you know that your love language or your partner's love language is one of receiving gifts, well, just reframe your idea of what a gift can be. It can be something that is created from meaning from your hands or your partner's hands or their heart or their mind, lyrics, poetry. I love gifts from nature. Like when my partner would travel, he was in the military until this past December when he retired after 28 and a half years. But wherever he would go, he would bring me back a stone, because I love gifts from the earth, right?
Yeah.
That is one of my love languages of gift giving. Now, if it were going to be gifts of jewelry, I'd say those would be nice, but they wouldn't have the same effect as those precious gifts from the earth, right?
Yes.
And so this is where it comes to really knowing what drives your love language, what drives those emotional needs being fulfilled, because we all have them. And it is a primary aspect of our human development. Yolanda, I love that you said spending time, right? Spending quality time, to be present when you can gaze and look into your beloved's eyes, touch them in a way that is meaningful, that has presence, mindfulness, right? These are experiences that we take into ourselves, right? And we keep and carry with us throughout our lives.
Oh, so well said. That is so beautiful. And making that distinction, even when you said, I love this, he's giving you stones from these different places, right? And then I can hear a few people going, yeah, I'd like a stone. It's called a diamond. It'd be fantastic, right? Right? It's a precious stone, which is beautiful, 100%. But knowing what it means to you, that to me, because I just went back and I go, he's actually either walking on the beach or he's climbing a mountain or he's out in nature somewhere, but he's consciously thinking about you, spending time and spiritual energy with you, looking at the stone. Do you see the meaning of that? Like everything, by the way, has meaning based on what we give it. For example, I love the gift example, right? So it's a stone. You may have that stone in your dresser or maybe on the table, or someone goes, it's a stone. I don't get it, right?
Yeah.
And then you go, guess what it means to me? That is a beautiful gift. And then when you tell the story, anybody would go, wow, what a loving stone. You
Absolutely
do that with anything in your life. So but being able to, again, articulate that with Claire, I mean, that is such a beautiful, beautiful thing. And you get to do that. Go ahead. Yeah.
I love it. It's so true. I love one of the comments here, Brown-Eyed Bella, about loving yourself. This is the primary step, because all of our relationships are modeled by the primary relationship, and that is the relationship we have with ourselves. For those of you that may know me, in my last business, I crafted the slogan of Adora Yourself, because the way that we love and care and have compassion and acceptance and forgiveness for ourselves is the way that we model every interaction relationally in the world around us, right? And so those simple ways of not only discovering what your love language is, but practicing it with yourself, right?
Yeah.
If you know that words of affirmation are your primary way of feeling emotionally fulfilled, and you're not in a relationship, then you can create those words on Post-it notes, through art, through all different facets, and you can put them all around your environment. And then when you look at yourself in the eye, in the mirror, you can share them with yourself. You can hit that depth of connection with your heart and your soul, giving yourself those words of affirmation that you want to hear from a beloved at some day in your life in the future.
So sad. And you're doing that. You're absolutely brown-eyed out. And the way you articulated this, it is, don't keep looking for love and don't keep looking for happiness. Be the love, be the happiness to yourself first. It's like, well, I'm just trying to find the one and I can't find the soulmate and I can't. You be that soulmate to yourself first, and you will manifest. You will attract what you love. Like I talk to clients and people all the time, like, be the person you'd want to date. Who do you want to love? Be that person. So you now have a very clear understanding of what makes you feel loved, and go to the root of that with regard to, okay, well, what is love? So if I was talking about acts of service, right? Well, they're rooted in compassion. They're rooted in understanding. They're rooted in encouragement when I'm down. They're rooted in mutual respect and adoration. Like, get to the root. Like, why do I love the things I love? And then you'll really be able to connect those dots, because you can use all five, right? Like, I love physical touch. Absolutely, right? So, but prioritize them for yourself so you can go, wow, this really makes me feel loved. I really love this. I like this. I prefer this. I need this.
Yes. That's so brilliant, Shawn.
Oh, I love this topic. We could go on and on.
We sure could. I do want to just leave all of our beautiful listeners today with a mantra. And the mantra is Om Mani Padme Hum. And when I was in India the first time, a little over 20 years ago, I was given this as a mantra with the reminder that it is all about paying homage to the compassionate one, which is yourself. So we always bring it back within. We always love, honor, hold ourselves in this place first before we search outside of ourselves for anything. And that is how we find the deep fulfillment. And that is how we magnetize the path of mapping the way to our beloved, or deepening the presence of the beloved that we have in our lives now. And the good news is that we have a program for both of you. In May, we have the Sacred Relationship Retreat on how to deepen our connection, how to deepen our communion, deepen our commitment, unity for longevity. And we also have a Manifest Your Soulmate program, mapping the way to your beloved. And so we invite you to join us, and we invite you to keep coming back here on our Thursdays. Although next week we're going to be Wednesday.
Yes, next week. Yes, you're going on a beautiful little trip with your beloved, so that's fantastic.
Yes,
yeah.
I'm going to go grab some sun.
Yeah, happy belated birthday, by the way.
Thank you, my dear.
Birthday month.
Thank you, my dear. Yes, half a century. Pretty astonishing.
Yes. Yeah, read The Love Language by Gary Chapman. You're looking, what book would you recommend on reading Love Language?
Yeah.
Adora put that in the comments earlier, but it is Love Language by Gary Chapman. And read it, reread it, the 5 love languages. There you Thank you, everyone, for showing up. Thank you, Adora, for being here and sharing your lovely presence and wisdom and your grace. These are really, really exciting, and I'm glad they're helpful. I'm loving the comments. I'm loving the engagement that you're participating in. If anybody wants to learn more, whether you're in a relationship or you're looking for that soulmate, as Adora said, of course, we have the retreat May 7th and 8th. Is that it? Right? 7th and 8th?
6th and 7th.
6th and 7th out here. If you want to understand more about what they're about, either one of us are open for a discovery call. Just go, I don't understand, or I want to learn more. Please, please reach out. We are here for you all the way through this journey. So thank you, everybody. Many, many blessings, and we will see you next Wednesday.
Blessings. Thank you so much, Shawn. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.